Okay, so how are we doing, Andre?
I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, doing good, man. So we were just having a bit of a chat before, and you said that you had a lot of problems sleeping last night,
Yeah.
and you said that it's something to do with, you know, the tribal thing. Do you want to
Yeah.
explain that?
Yeah, I'm in a group of men, and we have been sharpening this kind of thing for a longer time. It has incrementally gone into different phases and so on. And we have had patience and so on. We have been in a mentality where we are growing slowly but surely, and learn to know each other and so on.
Yeah,
And at a certain point, there was a narcissistic person with us and so on. And it becomes really fragmented, but then later on, people could see it like it was like I said, But I thought it was so weird that they hadn't recognized it themselves,
hmm,
because they had been mesmerized by his charisma and so on.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think he must have seen me like, Andre is a problem because he's looking through me all the time. Yeah.
And so, what happened? Was there a confrontation? Is he still in your group now?
No, there was a confrontation. I things go so fast, so I often lose track of it. What was really happening? Yeah, I actually at a certain point, I just intentionally uh, talked about the smell of his sense. This you burn and so on. I think he had put it very near me, two of them, just to get a reaction from me, which is
Right.
very weird. So I just said, "What sinister demon had have put those disturbing scents in my face?" And he got really angry.
What's in is the demon? Yeah, you start calling them out, and that's when you'll see the real demon within them.
Yeah. And in the beginning there, I got the most of the blame for it, but I recognized that there were some older men that they recognized more than they said that they recognized as well,
Right.
But I could see how they reacted and so on. Later on, a couple of days later, um, I told them about his narcissistic behavior and so on, and they didn't believe me, but they went home to him and talked with him and so on. And I haven't asked what happened, but apparently they saw it themselves because he got some narcissistic rage or something that they weren't prepared for.
Right.
Yeah. And then a friend of mine that has been with me for a good chunk of time, I have called him out at times for being a little bit too neurotic and so on. And because we have had rules within the tribe and so on, he has started to see that as me suppressing him in a way. But we have needed to have rules to not be able to have any backstabbers or anything like that.
Right.
But as soon there comes new people, he doesn't look maybe at me as a source that he can learn things from. To then, when there comes new people, he can rise above, so he can use what he learned from me and the old people that has been there longer than him to usurp his power. And I really don't like that kind of power game. I more rather just have people all be able to talk and express themselves instead of they're coming up like a person with the messiah complex, you know.
Mhm. So how many people do you have in your group?
It's shifting, but at most it has been like 10, you know.
Mm.
So it's kind of shifting, but I will meet up with uh, 3 or 4 other guys tomorrow and talk a bit about this, because I think I gone through some fragmentation in my mind, because I haven't recognized that there was one more narcissist in the group that I have even let far into me on my life, you know.
Mhm.
And that is a bit problematic, because that doesn't feel very good to uh, because I ask myself, all the good things he was doing, was it just to do some kind of
Manipulate.
game?
Yeah, yeah. Influence, manipulate, that's what they do.
Yeah. Huh.
Ye
They aren't very well at staying present for too long of a time.
No.
They can give the impression of staying present for the people that don't see, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. I
Yeah.
try to get my head around it.
Yeah, that's right. They're often, um, uh, like social butterflies. They're always manipulating, they're always working on people, and they can appear to be very, very sincere, you know, and people love that. They're taken over by it, they're overwhelmed by it,
Yeah,
particularly when they're doing their love bombing. And it doesn't
yeah,
necessarily have to be with the opposite sex.
yeah,
It can be compliments and, building people up, like telling you all how wonderful things about you, and then you find it difficult to judge them and to criticize them because they're supposed to look up to you, but they don't. They want to tear you down, but it's all mind games. Oh yeah,
yeah,
they're very despicable creatures. Literally, they're the devil walking among us.
yeah,
Um, and so. When you was in bed last night, then you had all these things on your mind, and that's why you couldn't sleep.
yeah. Exactly. I had all these things on my mind. I couldn't sleep. I I'm not really sure what I gone through in some cases, you know, because it goes so fast, you know.
Right.
Uh, so I try to get things together, you know.
Mhm.
I have a friend of mine. He has always been very good at bring uh, uh, the fuller perspective. When he sees things when I'm there as well, he can bring forth other aspect to it, you know.
Right.
Um, hmm. uh, I think this is a kind of good to talk about, because it gets my mind to figure things out as well, you know. Because
Yeah.
it's a very complex thing to go through. I recognize, but I think there's much to learn there.
Yeah. When we encounter uh, complex social arenas, um, we have to consider whether our ego is being affected, our biases are being compromised, our childhood issues are at play. We have to ask, is it me, or is it them? And so then we have to start inquiring with other people to see if they see it.
Yeah.
And if they all say, oh, they don't see it, oh no, he's okay, he's cool, then we have to look again harder within
Yeah.
ourselves, don't we? And then you
Yeah.
start to think, well, I'm the problem then. They're not the problem. And, it gets really complicated. It takes a long time to work out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out the screen at the minute, Andre,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm trying to get side by side. Um, Turn on captions, full screen, change layout. Okay, I want to change layout. Let's go back to auto. What's this do? Okay, that didn't do it. Tiled. Maximum tiles. Spotlight. Sidebar. Oh, goodness me, I don't know what on earth's going on here. What's this? Let's see. Okay. Um, right, let me see if I can open this back up again. Show. There we go. I was just trying to get rid of this board. I don't know why mine's different to yours. But anyway, so yeah, well, do you think you've got any resolve on any of those issues, or where do you think you are with them now?
I am very much in a process because I often easily can put down things on paper, analyze myself, think, is that a trigger point within me? What is here and what is there, But here is almost like the vision is a bit skewed, So I start to ask myself, what have I experienced that made my vision so skewed.
Yes, yeah, and why aren't other people seeing it like you?
Yeah.
Um, you know, that's that sets us back a bit, because if
Yeah.
nobody agrees with us, then it's kind of like, okay, well, I've got to look back inside again
Yeah.
to see if it's me, to see if I'm looking for trouble, or there's just something that I don't like about him or her because it's a reflection of my shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they tweaking my shadow? Are they bringing my shadow out? So, yeah, I mean, it's fascinating stuff, and
Fascinating
yeah, this
indeed.
is the thing. You see, if I was out socializing with people, then that's mostly what I'm doing. There is kind of like this social aspect of what I'm looking for in someone going on, and I try to extract that out. But also, I'm always kind of analysing and probing, and saying things to see what reaction I get, so I can get to know the person a whole lot more. And invariably, quickly, you can trigger something within them, and then it's kind of like another one bites the dust. And of course, if we have superficial relationships whereby we never look into people's beliefs, then everyone can get on hunky dory. But if you kind of get an inkling of someone, if they say something about, I don't know, a religion or politics, and if you start saying, "Oh, so you believe that, then, do you? Uh, why do you believe that?" Um, well, have you looked into the opposite? Are you not being biased? Or when you start to prompt them into questioning themselves, they start to feel insecure, and then they might not like your line of inquiry, because they can
Yes.
see that you can look into their minds and they feel insecure about
Yeah.
that. Then they'll feel insecure because maybe they haven't really thought out why they support something or don't support something, and everything gets complicated. But people have to be psychoanalytically inclined to be in a conversation with a psychologist or a philosopher, because they're going to encounter these depths, which
Yeah.
most people don't want to go into, do they?
Yeah. Absolutely. There's so much to pick up here, and like you said, it's important to look at one's own shadow as well, and whether I'm projecting something of me onto the screen as well. And I ask those questions many times, like, is it me? Is it them? Or how is that?
Hmm.
Like this dude that I've known for a while, that apparently seemed to have been doing some manipulation game as well.
Hmm.
Uh, he he said that I seem not liking him when he's speaking. And I have never had any feeling like that. I don't like when you speak. But apparently, from my experience with him, it's him not liking me speaking. Okay, when we face to face, because then he will learn something that he will use on other people later on, maybe, or
Right.
something like that. Because he knows that I'm very well articulated, and I know if he uses a word that is filled with emotion, and the only purpose that certain word is used for is to trigger an emotion, then I will know that. If you like use the word passion, okay, what do you mean with passion? It's a word that also means suffering, but also later on it has been a more superficial kind of passion, like passions towards something, and so
Yeah.
on.
See, there was this movie, The Passion of Christ, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the deep-rooted suffering of Christ. Hmm. So, what sort of things do you speak about that cause people to be a bit agitated?
What exactly is it? I have recognized that this dude that I'm talking about right now, he's using similar rhetoric, like he's gotten from me, to
Mm.
his own purposes and so on. So when he says look inward and stay present about things and so on, it comes from a mindset of just getting people following his way of
Ah,
being, and
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
ain't questioning my stance in my equilibrium and so on.
Yeah, so he hears a few things and he sees how they work and he sees how they trigger people's interest, and then he wants their attention and to become the guru and
Yeah.
start speaking these profound things, and get people hanging on his words, all wanting more, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, very, very tricky people. You
Yeah.
see, it's very funny when we have things to say which move people, because I've been doing this now for 15 years, and lots of people have come through the years to challenge me, and
Yeah.
it almost always is, I'm more enlightened than you, um,
Yes.
and it's kind of like, oh, that one again. Okay. And then, the comments are to and fro, and they're very insistent. They really want to, like, to impress other people in the comments. They want other people to be reading and getting on their side. It's like they are some sort of parasite that comes onto the channel and wants people to start following them. And I'm like, well, you seem as if you've got a very high opinion of your knowledge and value. So, well, why don't you set up your own channel then? Instead of, trying to steal my thunder. Oh, Aaron doesn't know this, or Aaron shouldn't be saying this, and I say this and I say that. And I'm like, well, you know, what's your game then, dude? What's your game? Oh, nothing, nothing. I'm not trying anything. I'm just saying. This is how I see it, and I'm like, okay, well, you can keep saying things how you see it, but my advice is don't be rallying up other support. Don't be trying to um, cause a fraction within the comment section, gathering
Yeah.
up people on your side against me. It's kind of like, well, this is my channel, and
Yeah.
if people don't like what I say, then maybe they shouldn't be here. Because you're not going to change me in any shape or form. So why
Yeah.
do you want to, like, point out my so-called failings? And but that's what they do, because they're looking to become a mini guru in their own right, and they don't have the confidence. They're not orators. They could never put the face up, so they couldn't possibly have their own channel. So they try to feed on another person's channel.
Hmm.
And so that happens quite a lot. It's happened many times through the years,
Yeah.
and you
There's
know,
parallels to draw towards that, and what we talked about in a tribe as well.
yeah,
When things becomes fractured,
yeah, and whenever you look into consortiums or societies or secret societies, they're always splitting. They're always splitting and splitting and splitting. And then when one group splits away from one group, then they'll split away, into two other groups, and then they'll split. And that's why we've got, 4,200 varieties of religion, because, there can only be one God if there's God at all. And so look what's happened over the years. Now there's 4,200 versions of God, because nobody could agree what God is. And
Yeah.
so I don't believe in your God, and you're saying that God is this. Well, I don't believe in that. And so who doesn't believe in that? Come with me then. Let's, create our own little sect. And that's all it is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
sects, cults. That's all
Yeah.
that's gone on. And
Exactly.
I say to people, at the end of the day, nobody's ever proved God in any shape or form. Um, we can pretty well get a consensus that God originates in our consciousness, and we all have had notions of God, or we've put people on pedestals throughout our lives. So we've all worshipped someone at some stage, for their brilliance, and then invariably we've all been disappointed because they've never stayed brilliant. They've always been human. And so
Yeah.
they've come tumbling down from their pedestal. But at the end of the day, if we realize that all we are worshipping is ourselves at the end of the day,
Hmm.
then we really shouldn't be upset with anybody.
Yeah. But because I know the thing we are doing here is also kind of a cult,
Uh
and I
oh,
haven't.
hang on,
What?
your voice has gone really funny, and
Really?
I might have to start my computer again. Let me
Hmm.
just put on another video just to see if that's uh, the same. And if
Yeah,
it is, I'll have to just yeah.
I can hear
y-
some.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to finish this one up, um, which is unfortunate. But well, I mean, this video I can title something else, the
Yeah,
psychology of groups or something like that. And it was,
yeah,
a nice intimate chat between the two of us. And so
yeah,
listen
perfect.
to that, and then we'll start again. So I'll send you another link. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.